Hi, and welcome to another edition of Ask a Buyer Agent. I'm here with Sarah Herbert, one of the buyer agents in our team here at Charlegate Realty Group, and I'll have a question for her today about negotiations. So Sarah, let's say a buyer is beginning a negotiation for a home. What are some of the advice that you would give that buyer?
I would say three things. First off is you want to remember that it's not just a business decision on both sides from the buyer and the seller. It's also a lot of emotions involved when people are talking about their homes. Both from the buyer who really wants this property and from the seller who's selling their home, which is always an emotional decision. So always good, you have to keep that in mind, not be insulted or upset when maybe things come back from a seller which you're not necessarily expecting or want to hear. But it's just to kind of try and take that emotion out of it a little bit and remember that there are a lot of egos and emotions going on both sides. Second thing I would say is to kind of have an end in mind, have an idea in your head what this property is worth to you, what you want to pay for it, and that's where I come in. I do that by, you pull comps, which is comparables in the area, what's sold recently, check out the building, check out how long the unit's been on the market, try and see if you can get any information about, what the seller's, strategy is for moving and what is behind them wanting to sell, and really finding out what the property is worth.
Great.
Third of all, I would say is to remember that at the end of the day, losing the property of your dreams for short money isn't always the best decision. And I think that you want to make sure that you are not going to walk away from something for a small amount of money, which over the life of a 30-year mortgage is just pennies a day. So you want to make sure that if you do walk away from something, you're not going to regret it.
Great. So I think sort of what you're saying is that you don't want to get too emotionally involved in a negotiation because things, it's a home for two people,
right.
So it can get emotionally charged, but you want to try to be careful of that. And then obviously with a buyer agent like yourself's help to craft a good strategy and where you want the price to end up.
Correct.
Cool. And then the third thing is you don't want to be too strict about your price at the end of the day because it is a home that you're getting. If you find the right home, that should take priority over $500 or $1,000 more.
Right. I mean, you don't want to kick yourself at the end of the day for losing your dream property for $500.
Right. Cool. Well, very good answer. Thank you very much, Sarah, and hope you enjoyed this edition of Ask a Buyer Agent. We'll be back with future episodes shortly, and if you have any questions, feel free to email. Just hit the contact button below on the blog, and we're happy to add them to the mix. Have a great day. Thanks, Sarah.